Revenge films. These are films that are centered on the subject of revenge through either its plot or its theme. That is myself, Smart Alec, and my good sexual friend, Not Irish Pat. Say hello, Not Irish Pat.
Pat, pat.
Pat, 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 pat. We both are huge fans of revenge films. We love revenge
Films in general.
Films in general, of course, but specifically revenge films. If you think back, Pat, to all of our greatest watching experiences round your house with beers, just think of all the great times we've had watching, some of the films we're about to talk about.
Yeah. Some good times, man.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
And so I feel like our lives are intrinsically linked to these revenge films, often thrillers, often action films.
Yeah.
So I feel like we're well qualified to talk about these films.
Oh, definitely, yeah. We've had experience.
We have had experience.
We've had a lot of experience.
So we're both going to give our top 5 revenge films, which will roughly give you a top 10 revenge films of all time.
And there's some honourable mentions as well.
Yeah, so we'll have some honourable mentions, and we'll give in order our top 5, counting down from 5 through to 1. Yeah. If there's any overlap, we'll save it, and then we'll talk about it when it reaches its highest point on someone's list. So, we'll go ladies first.
Ladies first, all right, Alec?
We're starting with 1994's The Crow. Now, The Crow was directed by Alex Poyes and stars the unfortunately deceased Brandon Lee.
Yeah, he got shot in the face, didn't he?
I think it was the chest.
He got shot, yeah.
He did get shot, unfortunately.
Got shot,
It was a really good film. I feel like it was very cheesy. This was... he was like a hair metal frontman from the 80s, and he has actually an electric guitar in the film. It's really silly, but at the same time it has a lot of heart. It's really different. It's an unusual film.
It's really gothic. It's got an interesting...
Yeah, it has a gothic feel to it, as you said. When I was younger, teenage years, this was a great late night movie, and I feel that it hasn't lost any of its charm, even if some of the special effects in it have dated somewhat.
Yeah.
And this is definitely one of my favourite revenge movies. It's one I can watch on repeat. It's very easily watchable. This is a film you can watch with your friends over some nachos, or this is a film you can watch alone as a serious study of the revenge film, subgenre. So yeah, this is a definite favourite of mine. I love it. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Cult classic.
Definitely a cult classic. It has its following.
Brandon Lee's last movie.
Yeah. Patrick, what is your number 5?
Okay, so in at number 5 I have El piel que habito, which is a Spanish film. It means the skin I live in. Now, I don't know, we should really sort of premise by saying, maybe spoiler alerts maybe, during this?
This video will be filled with spoilers, so... If you're squeamish about spoilers, if you haven't seen enough films, especially these films, skip ahead.
Yeah. The Skin I Live In is probably one of the most fucked up films I've ever seen in my life. There's a lot of backstory, but I'm going to try and break it down. So it's a plastic surgeon whose wife is horrifically burnt in a car accident, and she ends up killing herself because of these injuries. And his daughter gets raped by this guy. She ends up killing herself, and what this surgeon does, he finds the guy that's raped his daughter, and he proceeds to test on this guy. So he's come up with the skin sort of substitute, and he performs a gender surgery on this guy to make him look exactly like his wife.
Ooh.
And he locks her up in like this cell for about 7 years. So it's sort of like you know, an ultimate punishment. And in the end, he kind of falls in love with this artwork. So yeah, it's just
I didn't see that coming.
It's all sorts of fucked up.
That sounds interesting.
It is very, very interesting. It's subtitled, so just bear that in mind. But yeah, it's just such a weird film, and it really hits you because you don't know towards the end that this woman that he's held captive is actually a man who raped his daughter. You know, the viewers have no idea until the end of the film, and you're just left open-mouthed. You know.
Wow, well that's a positive note to begin on.
Dark stuff.
I feel that revenge films are dark films.
They're not going to be happy, are they?
No, I mean that is often the purpose of a revenge film. It's about characters choosing the path of revenge over the path of forgiveness and acceptance, and often at the detriment of themselves. So yeah, I feel all of these are going to be dark films. If you don't like dark films, revenge films are not for you. Yeah. So my number 4 is Leon, or Leon the Professional, directed by Luc Besson, filmed in 1994.
I've not seen it, Alec.
Have you not?
No, tell me about it.
It stars Jean Reno and a very young Natalie Portman. I think she's only 10 or 12 years old in this film.
Oh, okay.
And of course Gary Oldman, who I absolutely love as an actor. He is such a versatile actor. He always embraces every role he's in, and he's one of these actors. He's definitely a character actor, and he really blends in. And it's sometimes almost unrecognisable. But yeah, this is a great film about. Well, really, the core of the film is actually the relationship between Jean Reno's character Leon and Matilda, who's played by Natalie Portman, and they bond. They're both outcasts to an extent. They're both misfits within their society, and they're both broken characters. And through the bond between each other, they develop. And I mean, Leon is a character whose only real friend is his plant. Before he meets Natalie Portman, Matilda. Yeah, but it's such a good film. It really is. It has some excellent action in it, and some like the start of the film when her family is murdered by Gary Oldman's character.
Shit.
Yeah, it's really hard hitting, I'd say. Really good, excellent stuff. So that's my number 4, Leon the Professional.
Cool, we'll watch that.
And what's your number 4, Patrick?
So my number 4 is a film that many people have probably seen, and that's Sin City.
Okay.
It's not just a revenge film, it's 3 revenge films in one.
It is.
Wouldn't you say?
Yes, definitely.
So you've got Bruce Willis, who is going after this character called the Yellow Bastard.
Yeah.
A very weird character.
Very yellow.
Very yellow.
Fact.
Yeah, so you've got Clive Owen going after Benicio del Toro because he beats Shelley quite regularly. And the final revenge plot is Marv. Yeah. Mickey Rourke's character, who goes after the people that killed this prostitute that he loved, Goldie. Yeah, that was probably my favourite of the subplot. It's just because I liked Mickey Rourke's character so much; like it fit him so well.
That was his comeback.
That was his resurgence
before The Wrestler.
Yeah, that was his resurgence into acting again, like just after his boxing career failed miserably.
Yeah,
and he ended up looking weird because of the plastic surgery.
He looks unique.
Yeah, we'll say that. Yeah, so I just love that character. Like, he's just such a badass, and it just had so many really interesting characters. It was
it was full of threads that were all entertaining.
It was very, very entertaining. The way it was set as well, you know, black and white, but it had splashes of colour. You know, the Yellow Bastard, the blood splatter. I think all the blood splatter was white, wasn't it? Actually. I just thought everything was made really, really well and really unique, and it was the the foundation of many future films.
At the time, there was nothing like it
Exactly.
stylistically. I mean, 300
That was
after this, yeah.
So yeah, it set a precedent for films made in that way. It was just a really good revenge film. Lots of blood. That's number 4. Number 4, Sin City.
Awesome. Number 3, Kill Bill Volume 1.
Ooh, Kill Bill.
Volume 1.
Ooh, Kill Bill. Okay.
Kill Bill's awesome. Is this higher on your list?
This
It's not.
This is an honourable mention.
Excellent.
For
That
me.
means we can talk about it.
Yeah, we can talk.
This is one of the few revenge films where the course of revenge doesn't end in the protagonist giving up everything they have. In this case, revenge is a good thing. So that's thanks, Tarantino. Tarantino loves his violence.
Oh, he does, doesn't
and
he?
he loves his Uma Thurman and her feet,
Yes.
which are prominent in this film. So if you're a fan of Uma Thurman's feet, I thoroughly recommend this movie. I really love the anime scene in that film.
Yes. Yeah.
That shows the backstory of Lucy.
parents.
Is that Lucy Liu's character?
Yeah, her parents dying.
Yeah, that was excellent.
Yeah. That was out of the blue as well. We're
It
not
was.
expecting that, and it's just done so well.
Yeah, there was. I don't think they could have reproduced that scene in live action, having watched it back, and it had the same impact. I really don't think that would have been possible. You
I
know,
was just going to say that. Yeah.
Vivica Fox. And Uma Thurman's fight scene, she plays a Vernita Green. And they have a really visceral, violent, just gritty fight. It's very desperate, it feels very raw. It's an excellent fight scene. And you really don't know. Both of them get harmed in this fight. And you have this amazing moment where Green's daughter returns home and they hide their weapons behind their backs and just try and pretend that nothing's going on.
Yeah, when like the surrounding area is just a bomb site.
Yeah,
it's really funny, but it's really well done. They're sort of
is.
oh hey honey sort of thing. They stop fighting, and
I feel like it's making a statement about American middle class life as well.
Okay.
But I just maybe also think that Tarantino's having fun, which I feel is a key part of all of Tarantino's films, really. He just loves having fun on camera.
Does, yeah.
Not in that way.
No, we don't want to see that.
No one wants to see that.
But we know what you mean.
I love it. I really do. There's a reason it's number 3 on this list. It's because it's awesome.
Yeah.
That is my number 3, Kill Bill Volume 1.
Cool. So my number 3 is another film that we've all seen, hopefully, Gladiator.
Love it.
Gladiator. It's just your classic.
I would say that this would be on my list. I just feel that Gladiator's incredible in so many other genres. I wanted to make space to talk about a couple of others.
Yeah, no, I agree with Alec. It can fall into many different film categories. But I just thought I had to mention it because it's one of my favourite films of all time. I've seen it, various times. I think it's one of the first films I actually cried at as well. Not embarrassed to say that.
The soundtrack for that.
Brilliant soundtrack. the ending
Hans
scene.
Zimmer at his finest, I'd say.
Definitely. The ending scene where he's moving his hands through the grass.
Yeah.
Oh man, it just hits hard. It hits hard, but it's very bittersweet, very very bittersweet. And the way that he died in front of a whole arena, in the arms of his true love, I guess, or
possibly one of my favourite endings for a film. Yeah. Thinking about it,
it's so powerful. It's so powerful.
I think it's quite forgotten as well. I don't think people talk about it enough these days.
Yeah.
It's a very powerful film, and it's been copied over and over again since. This was a blockbuster that had a lot of heart to it.
It did, yeah. I just love that scene. It's, he's finally killed that fucking bastard who everyone hates. Very well acted by Joaquin. Joaquin. So we're all happy about that, but it's just so bittersweet. It's a lot of emotion at the end there, and it affected me greatly, and that's why it's on my number 3.
Excellent choice. So Patrick's number 3.
There we go. Gladiator. If you haven't seen it, what are you doing basically with your life? Go and see it.
So our numbers 1 and 2 are interchangeable.
Yes, they are.
I've put one above the other, and Pat's done the opposite.
Yeah.
So I think we should just
talk about both films, I reckon.
Yeah. So let's start with my number 2.
Okay.
And
my number 1.
Yeah.
One of my favourite films of all time.
And mine. Very, very obscure film.
Yeah.
British film.
Yeah.
Shane Meadows, 2004, Dead Man's Shoes.
Mm-hmm. This is a brilliant film, and not a lot of people have heard of it. In fact, the majority of people wouldn't have seen it, and that makes me sad because it is one of the greatest films of all time. British made, probably quite low budget, I would say, as well, maybe.
Tiny budget,
but still really, really well made. And it is the greatest revenge movie, if not one of the greatest movies, in my opinion, of all time.
This is not a light-hearted film.
No, it's very hard.
This is a deeply affecting film that has some very mature themes to it. It's not a malicious film. It's not exploitative.
No.
This is just a film with some actually quite deeply, in my opinion, upsetting subject matter.
I think the ending scene for me is one of the best scenes ever in film.
It's so well done. The way everything unfolds is so clear and hard-hitting and emotional. I mean, my girlfriend was crying when she saw it. I think I was crying the first time I saw it.
Oh yeah, we all were, man. We all were. It's just one of those films.
And films so rarely make me feel anything. So for this, I think... I mean, I heard about this during my course at university, and when I watched it, I did not know what I was getting into. I found that I was sort of empathising with the lead, with Richard. I found that it touched me in a way that I don't know. It clearly touched you as well.
Yeah, very much so.
And it's just, it's horrible. But the way it's done, you really get the feeling of the sort of the Midlands of England,
North England, the harsh.
Yeah,
North
and it's a very sort of nice looking but barren, in a way, area.
Grey, miserable.
Grey.
The people that have harmed Anthony's brother, they're all low lives, they're all drug dealers, they're all just horrible.
And they're all
people.
really pathetic, which is something that there's some very dark humour in this film. It's absolutely great, and it really highlights how sad and shallow and useless these people are.
Yeah.
At the end of the film, he gives this amazing. He has this amazing monologue where he talks about how he is a monster himself, or he's become a monster because he sort of sadistically embraced the whole revenge that he sought, and he wants to die, and he ends up getting his wish granted, and it's very dramatic, and
it just all comes out like there's a line that he says that he thought his brother was a fucking embarrassment, in his words, and you kind of feel that he's felt guilty about feeling that way about his brother.
Yeah, definitely.
To me, that wasn't acting, that was real. And
it is grounded in reality.
Yeah, the cases like this have happened before, and so there's some element of truth behind this.
Absolutely brilliant. Patrick's number 1.
Oh, yeah.
My number 2, but you could chop and change either way. They're
Watch the
both
film, please.
Watch Dead Man's Shoes. It's incredible.
Yeah, very moving.
So my number 1
okay.
and Patrick's number 2.
Let's hear it.
Is Chan-wook Park's 2003 movie, Old Boy.
Old Boy.
Old Boy.
Great film.
So it's a very different film to Dead Man's Shoes for a start.
Oh yeah. Let's start by saying it's Korean.
It is South Korean. It's one of the best films ever made from a filmmaking standpoint. The way it's shot, the way it's directed, its score. I mean, both Old Boy and Dead Man's Shoes are very slow-paced films. They're slow builds, but do they build to a climax.
Yeah.
And Old Boy has one of the best twists in a film, and it is It is a twisted twist, I will tell you that right now. There's an amazing moment where the antagonist realises that he has completed his revenge, and then he feels nothing, he has no purpose to live for, he doesn't feel better, and he takes his own life. It's very surrealist.
I really liked the scene with the ants on the train.
Yeah, ants are often used to signify madness. Am I wrong in that? Madness or loneliness, one of the two.
Yeah, and that scene was really weird. That sort of summed the film up for me. Really, just its craziness, and
it is crazy, and it has one of the best action scenes ever.
Which one was that, Alec? Which one?
You have the in one take side scrolling action shot through the corridor with the hammer. And it's I don't know, well, I think people do realise how incredible it is, and it's so good. This is another visceral, raw film that's really gritty, really gruesome.
It is, yeah.
In places.
It can be.
But it's not gruesome for the sake of gruesomeness. I feel that the gratuity of it is warranted, and it does add to the film. I feel a lot of times people it actually subtracts from the film, the gratuity of violence.
Is there because it should be, or they just put it in? Do you know what I mean? Like there's no thought behind it.
14-year-old Alec was sort of rocked to the core by this film. I didn't see it coming, and I've seen it to I don't know how many times, too many. I've shown it to pretty much everyone. It's just such a well-made film. It really is. And even if it's not your favourite, I think you can appreciate it.
Just the theme as well. It's different.
It's so different, and there's nothing quite like it. The remake, don't see it. Ugh.
No, it's really bad. Yeah, it's really
they
bad.
They completely missed the point as usual.
Yeah.
But it's just wonderful, and again, it is a revenge film. This is the revenge film.
The ultimate revenge.
Ultimate revenge film.
Yeah.
It encompasses the theme perfectly. Old Boy is the one.
It
is the one, and it's my number one.
Cool.
I'd just like to say some honourable mentions. Munich, Spielberg's Munich. Gangs of New York by Scorsese. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Bill the Butcher is amazing. Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven is a classic. Michael Winner's 1974 film Death Wish, which pretty much started, as far as I'm aware, the action revenge genre. And Gladiator is also on my honourable mentions list.
Yeah, I've got a few. So, let me just read. Man on Fire.
Denzel very Washington.
Very good film, yeah. The last scene in that was particularly good. Very emotional. I've got Kill Bill, which you've already mentioned. Yeah, Django Unchained was another film that I really enjoyed. Again, Tarantino, you can't really go wrong with Tarantino.
Yeah, I'm not such a fan of Django Unchained. I was going to put it on trial, but it never happened.
Okay, well, you should. That's it, yeah, that's it for my honourable mentions.
Okay, so that's all we have time for. Thanks for watching. This has been the greatest revenge films of all time. And there are some excellent revenge films out there. Please watch the films on this list that you haven't seen. I'll post the list at the end of the video for anyone who can't remember as a recap. And watch this space. I'm going to be doing every genre of film over the course of the rest of my life. So...
Nice.
Yeah, so
that's a lot of content.
Oh yeah, it's coming, baby.
That's a lot of content.
So thank you for watching. I've been Smart Alec, and this has been my friend, Not Irish Patrick.
Not Irish.
Thanks for joining us, Pat. You're always welcome.
It's been fun.
Goodbye for now, and until next time.